you know I'm a preacher. Never thought I could be such a thing. With the amount of education I ain't had. But I was told otherwise, from a man who knows learning better than my dad knows lobstering. And I learned to listen to him. Let me tell you, one day, this fella, Josh, he was preaching up a storm from the back of my butt at the head of Mackerel Cove. He was telling the funniest stories and hammering home wicked good points to ponder. All kinds of people was gathered round Merrill's Wharf and other property. Tourists, natives, no matter. They was all listening the same. I was marveling at how this ordinary fella could preach right up there with Preacher John. When, suddenly, he just stopped. Said he was done talking for now. Felt like going fishing. Fishing? I queried. You mean lobstering? Yeah, he replied at length. I looked at him kind of quizzical. You do realize we've been hauling traps most of the day and don't got much to show for it neither. Yeah, was his further elaboration on the matter. Well, I don't suppose them lobsters would mind us disturbing the traps even before they had time to climb in. I speculated some. Josh looked back my way with that knowing smile of his. And, you might just be surprised, he offered. And then, looking round, he motioned out the cove. Let's go back over some of them traps and see what we got. Now, Jimmy and John, these brothers, they weren't looking too pleased at neither of them, as they was in the boat, and they kind of figured Josh was going to take them along for the ride. But you know, I figured maybe this guy is not just talking frivolous. So I started the engine. If there's anybody else, I said loud, so as to be heard over the Ford Senator, I'd tell them they could take a hike. But we'll do whatever you say, I said. And we set out the cove for hauling traps. Traps we'd hauled just that afternoon. Well, don't you know? We come up on the first buoy, attach the line to the pot hauler, and wait for the trap to come up from the bottom. I reached out to swing it over the side of the boat, and could not believe my eyes. Not only was it full of them buggers inside, they was hanging like fancy clothespins on the outside as well. Whoa! Will you look at that? Jimmy cried. And his brother John was speechless. We had 6 traps on the line, so we commenced to haul up another one. Wouldn't you know? Same thing happened to the next trap. Jimmy cried the same exact thing. Whoa! Will you look at that? I think it was a little bit louder this time around. And John might have said nothing, even more emphatic than before. And Josh, he looked on. That's what he did, kind of grinning. We kept hauling up traps and kept being surprised every time. It was just a few hours before we had 2 days' worth of lobsters, and by the time it got dark, we had all we could do from spilling them outside the boat. Now, somewhere along the way, the brothers and I got wind of a thought. Let me tell you, we figured Josh was still kind of preaching at us, even after he'd stopped talking. But unlike my easy listening back there in the cove, I was feeling mighty strange to be round a man who shouldn't have no business being round the likes of me. I set myself on the deck, about eye level with them boots of his. You should let us take you ashore, sir, I said, speaking courteously in the direction of them boots. You shouldn't be out here with the likes of me. It's okay, Simon, he said. Simon's my real name now. He calls me that once in a while. Don't be afraid of me. And then he commenced to standing me upright and heading us back toward the cove. Come on, he said. Let's try the fishing back on land. What's back on land for fishing? Old Jimmy asked, kind of befuddled like. And Josh answered, priceless catches of men, women, neighbors, even Highlanders. John broke his silence abruptly there. Now, how you gonna do that? He prodded. With fishermen, Josh persisted. The likes of you, he said, adding it kind of smat-like, and he looked right at me when he said that. But we started to catch on. Come, follow me, he said to us all, and you'll catch men rather than lobsters and tuna fish. And we did. It was that day we left the boat and the lobsters for preaching. Preaching to folk just like you, who are here right now, listening to the likes of me. And from the looks of you, I imagine you might even catch on quicker than old Simon did. Yeah, I imagine.